The drama begins with a super relatable and lighthearted comedy scene. We meet our female lead, Hua, who is running late for university. In a rush, she quickly asks her mom about breakfast, but instead of helping, her mom asks her to help with chores. Left with no choice, Hua grabs a few macarons and rushes out without a proper meal. The moment she steps outside, she realizes her bus is about to leave, and that's when her mini-mission begins. Catch the bus. She sprints at full speed and somehow manages to hop on just in time. As she settles down, she gets a text from her friend. Dumbo, did you catch the bus? Hua instantly replies, yes, and even asks them to bring breakfast to the bus stop. Now relaxed, she starts doing her makeup, but suddenly, the driver hits the brakes hard. Her eyeliner slips from her hand and rolls forward. As she tries to pick it up, a guy sitting in front of her picks it up and hands it back. Hua thanks him and offers him her macarons in return, and surprisingly, he accepts them without hesitation. And just like that, Hua feels a little impressed. Even after reaching the university, fate brings them together again. Hua accidentally spills soda, and the same guy helps her once more, offering his handkerchief. She just stands there, watching him walk away, as if she's already developed a first-sight crush. But then comes the twist. Her friend Minho makes his entry, who is actually the male lead of the drama. He hands her breakfast and asks who she was staring at. Hua avoids the question and casually says, I'm hungry. During breakfast, she starts praising that mysterious guy, and Minho teases her, saying, you look a bit like a girl today. Otherwise, your behavior is more like a guy. Then comes a hilarious moment. Hua gets so obsessed with the smell of Minho's jacket that she keeps sniffing it again and again. Minho gets completely confused. What are you even doing? Her weird behavior continues in class, and that's when she spots T. He's same guy again. His name is Mok Jin, and he's actually in her class. During the lecture, another embarrassing moment hits. The teacher takes attendance online, and Hua's profile picture turns out to be a selfie. The whole class bursts into laughter, and Hua turns completely red with embarrassment. After class, Minho and Hua run into Mok Jin again, who introduces them to his friend, Yang Hee. From here, a new connection between the four of them starts to form. As the story moves forward, Hua's funny and overdramatic nature shows up again, when she jokingly tells Minho's mom on a call that she is her real daughter. But reality hits hard soon after. Hua is forced to carry a heavy package sent by her mom. She expects Minho to help her, but he refuses, and walks away carrying only his own box. Tired and struggling, Hua somehow drags the package to her hostel, where she finally meets her roommate, Bo Young. And after this, the story takes an even more fun and interesting turn. At the hostel, Hua, Bo Young, and Ji Min are enjoying their very first day together. They properly introduce themselves to each other, and soon a small party begins, marking the start of their friendship. During this, Bo Young gets a call from her boyfriend, but without any hesitation, she clearly says, don't call me after today, and hangs up. Hua is shocked and asks why. Bo Young confidently replies, I just want to enjoy my life, without any unnecessary stress. Hearing this, Ji Min is impressed and says, you're really cool. On the other side, Minho and his friend Park Newell are chilling in their room. Suddenly, their roommate Moon Jun walks in and jokingly asks, are you guys having a party? Then, in a playful tone, he asks Minho about his older sister, but Minho quickly shuts it down. She's getting married, so there's no chance. Right after that, Moon Jun shares something interesting. Someone has posted an online love confession titled Dear M. At the same time, the same post is going viral among the girls as well. Now the big question is, who is Dear M? This adds a mysterious twist to the story. The next day, Ji Min is talking to her boyfriend, Park Nol, on the phone, and he's asking her which shirt he should wear. Seeing this, Hua gets a little emotional and says, you're really lucky. But just then, Minho calls her and asks her to meet. When they meet, Minho shares his new idea, a dating app. He explains, with this, you can find people based on your preferences and go on dates. Hua bursts out laughing and reminds him of his past breakups. His first girlfriend left him because he was always studying. The second broke up over something as silly as chocolate. And the third didn't even know his favorite dish. Even after being teased, Minho stays confident. Just wait, I'll definitely find a good girlfriend. Then Hua tries the app herself and is actually surprised because it works really well. Next comes a twist. Through the same app, Hua gets matched with Mogjin, and the two go out for lunch together. This date turns out to be very special for Hua because Mogjin treats her with genuine care and respect. Before leaving, he even gives her a drink, and for the first time, Hua feels like someone is truly treating her as someone special. Meanwhile, Minho is happy seeing his app grow rapidly. More and more people are downloading it. At the same time, Hua applies for a job at a restaurant, and she gets selected. She tells the owner that she's a business student and can help with the work. After that, everyone starts spending time together at the restaurant. Minho introduces his friends to each other, and the atmosphere becomes light, fun, and full of laughter. And then, a game begins. The party atmosphere was now completely heated heated, and the game had everyone struggling. Park Newell loses the round and gets his punishment. He has to finish an entire glass in one go. Just then, Minho gets a call from his older sister. He steps outside to take it, but there, he runs into Hua. A few moments later, Mogjin also arrives and invites Hua to join them inside. Without overthinking, Hua agrees and joins the party. As soon as she enters, the game starts again, but this time, Hua becomes the target. First round, she loses. Second round, she loses again. And then, she keeps losing, again and again. And every time, the punishment is the same. Drink. Slowly, Hua drinks so much that she starts losing control. In the final round, she loses again, but this time, something different happens. Mogjin steps forward and drinks in her place. Seeing this, Hua gets emotional. His caring gesture truly touches her heart. But suddenly, the situation gets awkward again. Yang He accidentally spills a drink on Hua's clothes. She keeps apologizing and insists on buying her new clothes, but Hua loses her patience and shouts in frustration, "I said it's fine!" To handle the situation, Minho takes her outside. After calming herself in the restroom, Hua ends up revealing something that changes everything. She says, "I think I really like Mogjin. Maybe he's the one I've been waiting for 21 years. Hearing this, Minho is shattered inside, but he hides his feelings and replies, "You're talking nonsense." Later, when everyone gathers again, Minho talks about his dream. He wants to work in a gaming company. That's when Mogjin casually says, "I can help you." But the real shock comes when it's revealed. That company belongs to Mogjin's father. Now Minho is confused. Should he accept the help or protect his self-respect? After that, Hua takes Minho's phone, finds Mogjin's number, and starts checking his profile. Looking at his pictures, she smiles and says, "He's so handsome." On the OD. On the Han. Her side, Moonjun's disciplined life is revealed. His military training, his habits, everything is perfectly structured. And when he asks Minho about the military, for the first time, Minho opens up about his painful past. "When I was young, my parents passed away. My sister raised me. Now it's my turn. I want to free her from this responsibility." Hearing this, even Moonjun gets emotional and softly says, "I didn't know. I'm sorry." The story now shifts back to Hua. She is completely absorbed in her phone, repeatedly looking at Mogjin's pictures, and a soft smile naturally appears on her face. Her friends immediately notice and tease her. "Did you fall for someone?" Hua gets a little shy, but she finally admits it, because hiding the truth is no longer possible. Cut to the next scene. Hua quickly comes up with a plan. She messages Minho and asks him to find out Mogjin's favorite celebrity. Not just that, she even sends a full 100-question survey, so she can learn every little detail about him. On the other side, Mogjin is also playing his own game. He offers Minho, "Join my club. It could help you get a scholarship." Minho immediately sets a deal. "First complete this survey, then I'll join your club." Meanwhile, Hua herself goes to Mogjin's club and asks to join, but Yang He stops her, saying, "This is a computer engineering club, and you're from business administration. This isn't for you." But Hua is not someone who gives up easily. She replies, "I'm ready to do any kind of work." Mogjin assigns her a cleaning task, and Hua starts working without hesitation. However, Yang He deliberately makes comments that make Hua uncomfortable, and the atmosphere becomes tense. Minho notices everything, and to handle the situation, he takes Yang He out for lunch. Yang He feels happy. Maybe she misunderstands his intentions. During lunch, Minho suddenly gets a call from his older sister. Surprised, Yang He says, "People usually get calls from their mom, but you get calls from your sister? You must be very close to her." Minho's reply instantly changes the mood. "She's the only family I have." Yang He immediately apologizes, realizing her mistake. At night, Minho finishes his assignment, but Park Newell is still struggling. Without thinking twice, Minho starts helping him, and this is where his true personality shines. Then Moonjun enters and lightens the mood. He praises Minho's dating app and suggests having a party. Park Newell calls his girlfriend Ji Min and invites her along with her roommates. At first, Bo Young and Jua refuse, but the moment they hear that Moonjun is covering all the expenses, they instantly agree. At the party, as soon as Hua and Minho meet, they start teasing each other. "Weren't you doing your assignment? And weren't you going to sleep? Or did you come here to sleep on the grass?" Their chemistry is clearly visible. Then Ji Min asks, "You two are best friends, right?" Hua laughs and replies, "Yeah, since school, but now I'm tired of him." Everyone bursts into laughter. Soon the topic shifts to drinking. Hua says, "We do drink together, but never more than 3 bottles." And with all the laughter, teasing, and small moments, the party atmosphere is now completely set. The next day, the story takes an even more interesting turn. Minho and Hua are seen distributing forms for Mogjin's club. Confused, Minho asks, "Why are you doing all this?" Hua replies without hesitation, "This is the perfect chance to impress Mogjin." After a while, Mogjin himself shows up and tells them to take a break. As Hua sits down and starts checking the forms, she excitedly says, "So many forms have already been filled." At that moment, Mogjin comes closer to her, a little too close. And just like that, Hua's heartbeat starts racing. She can't say anything, but her feelings are clearly clearly visible. Standing at a distance, Minho watches all of this, and a hint of uneasiness appears in his eyes. Just then, Yang He enters, and soon, all of them go out to eat together. During the meal, Minho keeps taking care of Hua, noticing even the smallest details, but this slowly starts bothering Yang He from the inside. Meanwhile, Hua is still focused on her mission. She deliberately says things in front of Mogjin that match his interests. She says, "I was watching a horror movie last night. That's why I couldn't sleep." Mogjin looks surprised and asks, "You like horror movies?" Hua instantly replies, "I love them, but the truth is completely different." Minho thinks to himself, Hua doesn't know anything about this. Looks like she memorized Mogjin's entire survey. Next scene, we see Mogjin's room, a single room in the entire hostel, because his family owns a big company. Minho visits him, and they talk about the app, but just as Minho is about to leave, Mogjin asks, "What kind of girl is Hua?" Minho smiles slightly and says, "She's really nice." Mogjin immediately responds, "I like her too." And that is the moment something breaks inside Minho. He doesn't fully understand his own feelings, but the pain is clearly there. The scene shifts. Ji Min and Park Newell are sitting in a restaurant. Soon, Minho and Hua also arrive. Minho jokes, "Hua has gone completely crazy." Ji Ta'an alks about things she knows nothing about. Hua laughs and replies, "If I don't know something, you can teach me." Then she excitedly adds, "Mogjin promised to take me to a live gaming event next time." Minho simply says, "Yeah, we'll see." But deep down, he is feeling something entirely different. On the way back, Hua keeps talking about Mogjin non-stop, while Minho quietly listens. Next scene, both of them are sitting together. Hua is once again looking at Mogjin's profile and says, "He looks so handsome in every photo." Minho just keeps looking at her, without saying anything. Suddenly, Hua asks, "What kind of girl do you think Mogjin likes?" Minho quietly takes her picture, shows it to her, and says, "He would definitely not like a girl like you." Then he jokingly adds, "Maybe I should send this photo to him." Hua immediately pulls out her trump card. She shows him an old, extremely funny school-time photo and threatens, "If you send my photo, I'll upload this one online." Now Minho has no choice. He is forced to delete the picture. After this, the story shifts to Hua at her workplace. She is playing a very romantic song, and the smile on her face says everything. Her boss notices and asks, "What's going on? Have you started liking someone?" Hua honestly replies without hesitation, "Yes, there's someone I met recently, and I like him." But here comes a big misunderstanding. Her boss assumes that Hua is talking about him. Feeling confident, he says, "Whatever you feel, you should confess it." Hua smiles and replies, "Yes, I'll confess soon." And just like that, her boss takes it as a green signal. A little later, he calls Hua and directly says, "I accept your feelings." Not just that, he even gives her a coffee with "yes" written on it in big letters. Hua is completely confused. What is even happening? The scene turns funny on the surface, but deep down, things are getting more complicated. On the other side, Minho is at home. His sister brings him a burger, and as he eats it, a sense of peace and happiness is clearly visible on her face. Next scene, Minho is getting ready. His sister rushes him because they have somewhere to go. They arrive at a restaurant where Minho meets his sister's boyfriend for the first time. But then, another twist. Mogjin and his father also arrive at the same place. Minho meets Mogjin's father and says, "You're my role model. I want to become like you." Everyone sits at their respective tables, but the atmosphere is far from normal. Mogjin's father scolds him, saying, "You couldn't even get into a good university." The situation becomes tense. To handle it, Mogjin quickly changes the topic and shows Minho's app, saying, "I made this myself." Seeing the app, his father is impressed, and for the first time, Mogjin receives a bit of approval. At the same time, Minho gets another shock. His sister tells him that she is getting married soon. Minho is stunned, and suddenly, the story takes us into an emotional flashback. When their parents passed away, it was his sister who raised him. One day, young Minho sees a burger at a shop and wants to eat it, but his sister doesn't have enough money at that time. She can't buy it for him, but that very night, somehow, she manages to arrange money and brings him a burger. As little Minho happily eats it, his sister stands at a distance, smiling. His happiness was her happiness. The flashback ends, and now, Minho understands. He has to say yes for his sister's happiness. He agrees to the marriage, but deep inside, a strange sadness remains. When he returns home and checks his bank account, he realizes something painful. He doesn't have enough money for his sister's dream wedding. On the other side, Hua is sitting in a restaurant with Moon Jun and Bo Young. Suddenly, they hear a girl crying at a nearby table. She says, "I shouldn't have confessed my feelings." She had expressed her love, but got rejected, and now she is completely heartbroken. Hearing this, Hua feels uneasy. She goes silent, as fear, confusion, and sadness start building up inside her. In the final moment of the scene, Hua is sitting alone, lost in her thoughts, and for the first time, that smile is gone from her face. Just then, Minho enters the scene, and seeing Hua upset, he immediately asks, "What happened?" Hua slowly tells him everything. "Today I saw a girl. She confessed her feelings, but she got rejected." The fear in her voice is clearly visible. Then she asks him, "You, what happened?" Minho pauses for a moment and says, "My sister's marriage has been fixed." Hearing this, Hua smiles and says, "That's great news." But Minho's smile feels incomplete. He quietly adds, "I don't have enough money for her grand wedding." Hua immediately becomes serious. "How much do you have?" Minho replies, around 10 million. Hua is shocked. That much? When did you save all that? And then she understands. Scholarships, part-time jobs, all his hard work led to this. Jua gets emotional and says, when your sister finds out, she'll be so happy. In that moment, she gently pats his head, and this small gesture touches Minho deeply. He softly holds her hand, but Hua feels a bit uncomfortable and pulls her hand away, saying, let's go. We should leave now. On the way, Hua gives him a surprise. Wait till you see my new look tomorrow. Don't be shocked. The next day, Minho specially buys macarons for Hua. All the boys are waiting outside the hostel for the girls. One by one, everyone arrives, except Hua. And then, she makes her entry. Minho is stunned. Is this really Hua? Her entire look has changed, and she looks incredibly beautiful. On the way, Hua asks, how do I look today? Minho smiles slightly and says, you look like Mogjin's favorite actress. Hua becomes happy, but the very next moment, Minho teases her, and everyone starts laughing. Jua gets annoyed. Stop it! Seriously! Minho is about to give her the macarons, but just then, Mogjin arrives with his car. Jua quickly takes the opportunity. I'm wearing high heels. I can't walk properly. Can you give me a ride? Mogjin agrees, and Hua gets into his car. Seeing this, Minho feels a bit jealous. He quickly makes an excuse. My leg hurts. I'll come along too. And he also gets into the car. On the way, Mogjin compliments Jua's outfit, and she feels extremely happy inside. Minho is about to give her the macarons, but then he notices a big box in the car, already filled with macarons. Quietly, he puts his own macarons back. That small gesture remains hidden in his heart. Next scene, classroom. The teacher gives an assignment. Today, you all have to take each other's photos. The best photo will get the highest marks. All the students go outside and start their photo shoots. Yang He approaches Minho and asks, will you take my photo? Minho hesitates. I don't really know how to take photos, but I'll try. He starts clicking her pictures, while Yang He poses like a professional. Then she says, now I'll take your photo. Minho makes a weird, funny face. Seeing this, Hua bursts into laughter. He doesn't even know how to pose. Then Hua goes to Mogjin and shows him a photo she took. Mogjin is impressed and asks, when did you take this? Hua proudly replies, just now. Mogjin says, all right, now I'll take your photo. As he starts taking her picture, Hua's hair falls across her face. Mogjin slowly steps closer and gently moves her hair aside. And in that moment, Hua's face turns red with shyness. All the students submit their photos in class. The teacher carefully reviews each one, but the moment Hua's photo appears, he starts laughing. Who took this photo? Minho raises his hand. I did. The teacher smiles and asks, what would you name this photo? Minho jokingly replies, headache! The entire class bursts into laughter, and Hua just stares at him angrily. Next scene, Mogjin's club. Jua excitedly says, there's a photo exhibition, and I want to go with Mogjin. At that moment, Minho takes out macarons from his bag. Jua's eyes light up. Wow, are these for me? Minho immediately shuts her down. Of course not. These are mine, and he starts eating them himself. Jua gets annoyed. Just then, Mogjin enters and asks, are you two going to the exhibition together? Hua quickly signals Minho to say no. At first, Minho stays quiet, but then slowly says, no, I'm going with someone else. That's all Mogjin needs. Then, we'll go together. Hua can't hide her happiness, but on the other side, a quiet sadness appears on Minho's face. Later, Minho is sitting alone, and all he can think about is Jua. Just then, Yang He comes and asks, will you go to the exhibition with me? Minho is a bit surprised, but then smiles slightly and says, yeah, I will. Next scene, Hua is at a Xerox shop getting her assignment copied. Suddenly, a guy arrives, and his hand gets cut. Jua quickly gives him a bandage, but he leaves without saying a word. Jua is confused. What a weird person. He didn't even say thank you. Scene shifts. Park Newell, Ji Min, Minho, and Jua are sitting together in a restaurant. Suddenly, they see a post. That same suspicious person has posted again. Everyone is shocked. Who is this? Next morning, Bo Young asks Ji Min, what's the date today? Ji Min smiles and says, it's Hua's first date. Hearing this, Hua immediately sits up and prays, God, please don't let it rain today. Cut to, Hua and Mogjin are on their way to the exhibition, but suddenly, it seemed art's raining. Jua's expression drops. She immediately asks to stop the car. Let's go some other day. Mogjin is confused. What happened suddenly? On the other side, Minho steps outside, and the moment he sees the rain, his expression changes. He is reminded of his painful past. Flashback. When he was young, his parents were dropping him at school, and on their way back, an accident happened, right in front of his eyes. Back to the present. Minho stands in the rain, crying, and slowly starts walking toward home. And then, Hua appears with an umbrella. Minho is surprised. Weren't you going to the exhibition? Hua smiles softly and says, It started raining, so I came back. Another flashback. Young Minho is crying alone in the rain, and little Hua comes to him, gives him an umbrella, and comforts him. Back to the present. A thought crosses Minho's mind. Hua has always been there for me. He feels a quiet happiness inside. The two sit together, and Hua softly says, I don't know how to handle you. Minho, feeling guilty, says, Because of me, you missed your exhibition. Hua immediately replies, It's okay. I'll go tomorrow. And then comes the most touching line. I don't know what I should do, but I can stay with you. This is the moment where the line between friendship and love slowly starts to blur. Then the story takes an even more intense turn. Minho is sitting in class when a friend approaches him. I saw your app. It's seriously amazing. A friend of mine wants to invest in it. If you're interested, we could turn this into a big business. Minho starts to think, should I take this opportunity? Only one thought keeps running through his mind. If this deal goes through, I can arrange a grand wedding for my sister. He immediately checks his bank balance and sinks into deep thought. Suddenly, the fire alarm goes off. The entire hostel falls into chaos. Students start running bahar. Minho quickly calls Hua once, twice, again and again, but she doesn't pick up. Now the panic is clearly visible on his face. He decides, I have to go inside and check. Just as he's about to go in, Hua suddenly comes out. The moment Minho sees her, he breathes a sigh of relief. His eyes fix only on her. Then he notices two guys standing nearby, talking about Hua. Minho immediately pulls Hua behind him, as if he wants to protect her from the world. Just then, Mokjin arrives. Hua softly says to Minho, Stay right in front of me. Don't move. I don't want him to see me like this. This small moment says a lot. Meanwhile, Moonjun comes up with a new idea. I got a project to capture photos of different scenes. Why don't we take a train ride? The views will be amazing. Everyone likes the idea. Cut to, Hua is sitting in a restaurant, waiting for someone. Actually, through Minho's dating app, she had a date scheduled, and she's waiting for him. After a while, the guy arrives, and here's the twist. He's the same guy whose hand once got cut, and Hua had bandaged it. He's happy to see her, but suddenly, Hua gets an assignment reminder on her phone. She immediately stands up. Sorry, I have to submit my assignment, and she leaves. But the guy thinks it was just an excuse. She didn't want to go on the date with him. The scene turns a bit heartbreaking. Later, after finishing her work, Jupal returns. Just then, she gets a message from Mokjin. I'm waiting downstairs. Come quickly. Meanwhile, Minho is quietly looking at Hua's photo. There's something unspoken in his eyes. Hua reaches downstairs. Mokjin is sitting in his car. He hands her a coffee and plays a romantic song. Both of them leave for the photo exhibition. On the way, a strange thought crosses Hua's mind. Could Mokjin be the one who posted that online confession? For a moment, she feels confused, but then she reassures herself, no, that's not possible. And just as their car stops in front of the exhibition. And then, friends, as soon as Minho and Young Hee arrive there, Hua is completely shocked to see them, but the very next moment, she appears behead happy with Mokjin. She immediately walks up to Minho and says in a stern tone, You take Young Hee and leave from here. Leave us alone, or it won't be good. After this, Hua and Mokjin sit together, reading books, and plan to order something to eat. But Minho and Young Hee quietly come inside and sit nearby. After a while, Mokjin starts feeling sleepy and falls asleep right there. Hua looks at him lovingly and is about to go closer to him when suddenly, Minho shouts loudly, ruining the moment. In reality, he is deliberately trying to separate them. Hua glares at him angrily, but keeps herself calm in front of Mokjin. Then Mokjin says he'll go and bring his car, and Young Hee goes to the washroom. While leaving, Hua gives Minho a clear warning, don't follow us, and she leaves with Mokjin. On the other side, Hua and Mokjin are enjoying a baseball game together, while Minho sits restlessly, lost in thoughts. Maybe they're drinking together right now. Who knows? The moment this thought hits him, he suddenly stands up and gets ready to leave without thinking. Park Nul stops him and says, Bro, at least help me with my assignment first. But Minho only says one thing. This is more important. I have to go right now. But just as he's about to leave, Hua and Mokjin are seen returning from the front. Mokjin takes Minho aside and asks him directly, Do you like Hua? Minho goes silent. Then he asks Mokjin the same question, and this time the answer is clear. Yes, I like Hua. Saying this, Mokjin walks away, leaving a storm in Minho's heart. After this, Hua sends a message. She calls Minho to meet and asks, What did he say about me? Minho hesitates a little and replies, He is quite impressed with you. Hearing this, happiness clearly reflects on Hua's face. Then Minho gathers courage and asks, And you, what do you think? About me? Hua smiles and answers, You've always helped me. And now, friends, the real twist in the story is about to begin. The next day, Minho's sister is waiting for him. As soon as he arrives, she immediately says, Come on, We have to go wedding shopping. The two of them sit in a restaurant, but suddenly, the mood changes. His sister gets a call from her boyfriend and says in a slightly worried voice, I can't afford such an expensive wedding. You said you would convince your family. What happened now? Minho overhears everything. He asks her, is there a problem with money? But she smiles and brushes it off. I'll handle everything, don't worry. At this point, Minho gets a little emotional and says, why do you always handle everything alone? At least let me share your problems sometimes. It hurts that I haven't been able to do anything for you. Meanwhile, the story takes a dangerous turn. The same guy whom Hua once helped is now planning to trap her by changing his identity on the dating app, and Hua, unaware of the truth, agrees to go on a date with him. She tells her friend Bo Young, I'm going on a date with a new guy today. When Hua meets him, he's wearing a cap, hiding his face. Hua fails to recognize him, but the guy smiles to himself. Good. She didn't recognize me. He takes her along, using the excuse of a new restaurant, and Hua, without any suspicion, goes with him. On the other side, Minho finds out that Hua is on a date with someone today. When he checks the guy's profile, he realizes the name has been changed. Minho feels suspicious, but ignores it. Just then, Moonjun says something to him. Your app is good, but these days, crime is increasing. You should add safety features for girls, too. That's it. This line triggers an alarm in Minho's mind. He immediately starts worrying about Jua. He calls her, but Hua doesn't pick up. Now Minho becomes restless. He starts searching for her all over the campus. Meanwhile, Hua slowly begins to feel that something is wrong. She asks the guy, how far is the restaurant? The guy laughs and says, in a deserted place like this. What restaurant would you even find? And at that moment, Hua realizes the truth. She looks at him carefully and says, It's you, right? With a creepy smile, the guy replies, so, you finally recognized me. Now the situation has become dangerous. Jua immediately takes out her pepper spray, sprays it directly on his face, and runs. She hides between two cars. Panicking, she tries to call Minho, but at the same time, Minho is also calling her, and because of that, the call doesn't connect. Suddenly, Hua makes a slight noise, and the guy detects her location. Hua starts running again, her heart racing, her breath uncontrollable, and then, someone grabs her hand from behind. Terrified, Hua turns around, and standing in front of her is Mokjin. Seeing Mokjin, the guy gets scared and runs away. Mokjin takes Hua to a quiet place. Hua sits there silently, scared, shaken, and broken. Mokjin hands her a drink and gently says, drink this. You'll feel a little better. Hua just holds it in her hands, and then Minho arrives there. The moment she sees him, Hua can't hold herself back. She breaks down crying and says, where were you? I've been calling you for so long. Do you have any idea how scared I was? Minho looks at her and breathes a sigh of relief. After that, all three of them go to the police station. The inspector says, good thing nothing bad happened to you. Just then, the police bring that guy in. Minho gets furious. He is about to hit him, but Hua stops him. Now the police will handle this. After returning, Minho and Hua sit together. Minho blames himself and says, I'm sorry. Because of my app, you got into such a big problem. I'll delete it. But Hua immediately stops him. It's not your fault. That guy was wrong. Still, Minho says, but it was that app that introduced you to him. Just then, Hua smiles and shows her pepper spray. And it was because of this app that you gave me this, which saved my life today. Flashback. When Minho had won the pepper spray for Hua at the sports complex, and Hua had angrily said, what kind of gift is this? Back to the present. Hua says, see, this is the gift that helped the most today. Hearing this, Minho gets emotional. He hugs Hua and says, I'm sorry, I was late. It won't happen again. Then, a little overprotectively, he says, next time, wherever you go, make sure to call me. Hua finds this a bit strange. She gently steps back and says, let's end this here. I'm fine now. We should rest. Next scene, Hua is in her room, where Bo Young tells her, Minho deleted his app. Hearing this, Hua becomes sad, because she knows how much effort Minho had put into that app. On the other side, Minho and his friend Parthnal are both busy with their work. They motivate each other. Today, we have to complete the mission, and while working, they both fall asleep right there. The next morning, Hua calls Minho. I'm joining the gym from today. My stamina was really bad yesterday. You should come too. Minho immediately refuses. You go. I'm not coming. But then Moonjun says, at this time the gym is full of guys. That's it. Minho's eyes widen. Hua reaches the gym. All around her, guys are working out. She doesn't know what to do. Just then, a guy comes and starts helping her with exercises. Hua thanks him, and then Minho makes an entry. The moment he arrives, that guy quietly leaves. After a while, Mokjin also comes to the gym. Hua feels happy seeing him, but the jealousy is clearly visible on Minho's face. Now Hua and Mokjin start working out together, and Minho jumps in between, joining them. After some time, Minho is drenched in sweat. He lifts his shirt to wipe it off, and then, both Hua and Mokjin are surprised. Wow, your body is amazing. Minho starts working out even harder, and in the end, completely exhausted, he goes back to his room and collapses straight onto his bed. After that, we see Minho and Hua walking together, and this time, Hua is the one encouraging him. You built the app once. You can build it again. Her words slowly bring back Minho's confidence. Next scene, Hua is at her job, and at the same place, Mokjin is sitting with his friends, working on an assignment. Moonjun makes an entry. Hua takes him aside and says, "Convince Mokjin to come on the town tour." Moonjun, surprised, asks, "Why should I do that?" Hua smiles and replies, "If you do it, you'll get a gift." After a while, Mokjin finishes his work and is about to leave, but Hua stops him. "Stay a little longer." He refuses. At that moment, Hua signals Minho, and Minho also asks him to stay. This time, Mokjin agrees. Now the plan goes into action. Hua signals Moonjun, and he immediately brings it up. "We're going on a town tour for scenery photography. Will you come with us?" Mokjin replies, "I have a car, so why don't we go by car?" Everyone instantly agrees, but something else is going on in Minho's mind. No one even invited me. Just then, he notices Hua and Moonjun exchanging signals, and realizes this was all pre-planned. Meanwhile, they start talking about a mysterious Dear M post. Who is the one posting this again and again? Just then, Mokjin returns with ice creams for everyone, and especially brings Hua's favorite flavor. Seeing this, Minho becomes even more silent. After that, Minho, Moonjun, and Park Nael are sitting together. Moonjun casually says, "Hua and Mokjin look really good together." And the moment Minho hears this, his expression changes. Then Moonjun jokes, "Looks like I'm the only one single in this room. I wish I had a girlfriend too." At that moment, Park Nael seriously says to Minho, "If you like Hua, tell her before it's too late." Next day, town tour. Everyone gets ready to leave. Hua arrives carrying a very big bag. Moonjun jokes, "Are you going on a trip or leaving the hostel?" Hua laughs and replies, "I have everything. If you need anything, just ask me." Just then, Minho arrives and says, "You sit with me in the back seat." But Hua clearly refuses. Mokjin is driving. "I'll sit in the front." Minho, a bit frustrated, says, "If you sit in the front, you'll fall asleep. Come to the back." But this time, Hua doesn't listen to him at all, and directly sits in the front seat with Mokjin. And just like that, the journey begins, but the real clash is still yet to come. As soon as the car starts moving, Hua falls asleep on the way. Minho looks at her and quietly places a pillow under her head, so it doesn't hit the window. Seeing this, Mokjin asks, "Does she always fall asleep like this?" Minho smiles slightly and replies, "Yeah, whenever it's a long journey, she always ends up sleeping." After a while, they all reach a very beautiful place. Seeing such a stunning location, everyone takes out their cameras and starts clicking photos. Just then, Hua comes up to Minho and asks, "I slept the whole way. I didn't do anything weird, right?" Minho smiles softly and says, "No, you were perfectly fine." Hua relaxes and says, "Okay." Then Hua takes out her lip balm and starts applying it. Mokjin asks her for it, but before that, Minho suddenly snatches it from her hand and starts using it himself. He jokes, "Look how dry my lips are." Then Mokjin uses it too, but just as he's about to return it, Minho takes it again and applies it once more. Hua is completely shocked. What kind of weird behavior is this? After a while, Hua makes a heart shape with her hands and is about to take Mokjin's photo, but suddenly, Minho jumps in front of her and starts giving weird poses. Annoyed, Hua says, "Move aside. I want to take Mokjin's picture." But Minho doesn't budge at all. After that, Hua goes to a shop and starts looking at hair clips, but Minho is still acting strangely around her. Then Moonjun says to everyone, "Come on, I'll show you a special place here." He takes them to a unique cafe, where coffee is served in cups with funny insults written on them. Everyone is surprised and starts laughing. After that, they all go to Moonjun's house, where his parents warmly welcome them. Bo Young also brings gifts for them, and seeing this, Moonjun gets really impressed. At night, Mokjin gets a call from his dad. He asks, "Why can't I see your app anymore?" Mokjin replies, "I deleted it. Now I'm working on a new app." Hearing this, his dad says, "Good. Then, we'll participate in the competition with your new app." Before Mokjin can say anything else, the call gets disconnected, and from here, a new game in the story begins. As soon as the game starts, the atmosphere turns fun and lively, but luck doesn't favor Hua at first. She loses the first round, and is forced to take a drink. In the very next round, Parthenol loses too, but for him, it's just the beginning. As the game continues, his luck keeps getting worse, and he keeps losing again and again, drinking every single time. Then comes a twist. A new rule is introduced. Reply back. And suddenly, the mood shifts from fun to serious. Minho looks straight at Hua and says, "I like you," but Hua stays silent. No response. Because of that silence, Minho loses the round. He has to drink, But this time, the loss isn't just part of the game. Once again, he gathers his courage and says, I like you, but what happens next changes everything. Jua ignores Minho, looks at Mokjin, and says, I like you. And without hesitation, Mokjin replies, I like you too. That's it. Minho's heart shatters. He quietly gets up and walks outside. In his hand is the same hair clip Hua liked at the shop, a small gift that now feels meaningless. When he comes back inside, he tries to act normal, but then Hua, completely drunk, stands up. She's not in her senses anymore. She goes to everyone one by one, holding someone's face, calling someone a cute dumpling, her actions so strange that everyone is left shocked. Then suddenly, she grabs Moonjun and says, This one is a very dirty dumpling. Everyone is stunned, and the situation gets even more awkward. Meanwhile, outside, Mokjin is sitting alone. He's checking his competition site, and looks stressed because of his dad. At that moment, Jua stumbles toward him, holds his face, and starts talking nonsense. But Mokjin doesn't get annoyed. Instead, he smiles. And then, Hua suddenly says, I love you. For a moment, everything freezes. Mokjin looks at her, and without thinking, pulls her closer and kisses her. But someone sees all of this. Minho. He's standing right there, watching everything with his own eyes. He's still holding the hangover medicine he brought for Hua, but now, his heart is completely broken. The next morning, Hua wakes up, holding her head, and says, How did I get here? Why don't I remember anything? She walks outside and meets Mokjin. Mokjin asks, What were you doing with me last night? Jua, confused, replies, I drank too much. I don't remember anything. She holds her head again and quietly walks away. The next morning, everything looks a little normal on the surface, but deep down, everything has changed. Everyone is sitting at the breakfast table when Boyoung asks Hua, You were acting really weird last night. Are you okay now? Hua, slightly confused, replies, I don't remember anything. Then she looks straight at Minho and asks, Did I do something weird? Minho looks at her carefully and asks, You really don't remember anything? Hua shakes her head. I only remember that we were playing a game. After that, everything is blank. Minho doesn't say anything, but everything is clearly visible in his eyes. After a while, everyone leaves. Moonjun's parents come to see them off. Jokingly, his mother asks, Is any one of them your girlfriend? Moonjun smiles and replies, Not yet, but very soon. Everyone laughs, but some things are meant to stay unspoken. On the way back, Hua says to Mokjin, This time, I won't sleep the whole way. Mokjin smiles slightly, okay. But then, Hua notices his watch, and in the very next second, all of last night's memories come rushing back like a flashback. That kiss, that moment, everything. Hua is suddenly in shock. Now she remembers everything. Mokjin casually asks, So, what are your plans after going back? Hua tries to stay normal and says, Nothing special, but her mind is still stuck on that moment. Cut to, at a restaurant, Hua and Minho are sitting together. Hua softly says, Please don't tell Mokjin that I haven't even checked the date sheet yet. What will he think about me? Minho just looks at her, without saying a word. Scene changes. Hua is in her room, scrolling on her phone, while Jimin and Boyoung are studying. Frustrated, Hua says, I can't study in the hostel. Let's go to a cafe. But Jimin refuses. I'm done. I'm going to sleep. Now Hua has only one option left, Minho. She calls him. Let's go to a cafe and study. Minho clearly refuses. Hua immediately tries a trick. I'll buy you coffee. Still, Minho says no. But when Hua steps outside, Minho is already standing there. Hua, surprised, asks, You said you weren't coming? Minho smiles slightly and says, I came because you said you'd buy me coffee. Hua smiles. Okay, coffee is confirmed. Both of them reach the cafe and start studying. But the real moment begins now. Minho notices that Hua's hair keeps falling over her face, and without saying anything, he gently moves her hair behind her ear. That one small moment shakes Hua from the inside. She doesn't understand what this feeling is.
Now the situation was such that Hua couldn't focus on her studies at all. The book was right in front of her, but her eyes kept drifting toward Minho again and again. Minho notices this and asks, Are you going to study or not? Hua quickly replies, I will, but first, I'm going to check your phone. She picks up his phone, and as soon as she opens the gallery, she's shocked. There are so many pictures of her. Surprised, Hua asks, Why do you have so many photos of me? Without hesitation, Minho says, Whenever I feel down, looking at these makes me feel better. Hearing this, goes silent for a moment. Cut to, That night, in her room, she's thinking about only one person, Minho. The next day, exams begin. All the students are busy writing their papers. One by one, everyone finishes and walks out. But Yua is still sitting inside. She only comes out after completing her paper fully. As soon as she steps out, she meets Boyoung. Boyoung asks, "So, what's the plan now?" Yua smiles and says, "I'm going out with Minho." Boyoung immediately asks, "And Mokjin?" Jua pauses for a moment and says, "Oh, I totally forgot about him. Actually, after every exam, I always hang out with Minho. It's become a habit." Boyoung gives a slight smile and says, "Now you should change that habit." That line hits Hua straight in the heart. Cut 2, at the restaurant. Hua is working. Her boss asks, "How did your exams go?" Hua replies, "They went well." Just then, Mokjin walks in. He says, "I need 2 coffees." The moment Hua sees him, her face lights up, and her boss notices it too. Mokjin casually asks, "Will you help at our food stall during the festival?" Hua immediately says, "Sure." Mokjin smiles, hands her 1 coffee and says, "This is for you." Then he leaves. Jua's happiness is clearly visible. At that moment, her boss comes closer and asks, "Is he your boyfriend?" Without thinking, Hua replies, "How did you know?" Hearing this, her boss's heart breaks, and he quietly walks away. The next day, Minho, Young-hee, and Hua are having breakfast together. But Hua looks upset. She says, "The union still hasn't sent any message. I don't know if I got selected as the MC announcer or not." Just then, Young-hee receives a message on her phone, and she screams in excitement, "I got selected!" She looks at Hua and says, "Sorry, I didn't notice you." Hua smiles faintly and says, "It's okay. I'm happy for you." But Minho understands. Hua is broken inside. Scene changes. Hua is in her room, telling everything to Jimin and Boyoung. Jimin comforts her. "It's okay. This doesn't mean you weren't good. Maybe they did like you." Just then, Boyoung walks in, holding a flower delivery. She smiles and says, "Looks like Mokjin sent this for you." Hearing this, Hua becomes happy again. Then Boyoung adds, "There's a special rule today. Both girls' and boys' hostels are open. Anyone can check anyone's room." Hua immediately says, "Let's go. Let's see how the boys live." The 3 of them reach the boys' hostel, and as they check different rooms, it's a complete mess everywhere. Clothes scattered, trash lying around, everything is chaotic. But then, they enter one room, and it's completely clean. They're all shocked. It's Minho's room, which Moonjun has kept perfectly clean. Jua laughs and says, "We've become fans of your cleanliness." Just then, Minho walks in and jokes, "You have no idea how much torture we go through because of him. We can't miss anything." Hua smiles and replies, "You should thank him. At least your room is clean." The atmosphere lightens up, and friends. The real story begins from here. After this, Hua excitedly tells Minho, "Today, Mokjin sent me flowers." Her happiness is clearly visible, but Minho just looks at her silently. Cut 2. It's college festival day. The entire campus is filled with lights, music, and excitement. Everyone is enjoying themselves. Minho and Hua arrive there, and first head to Moonjun's tent. Moonjun smiles and asks, "Tarot cards or fortune cookies?" Both of them choose fortune cookies. Jua's slip reads, "Today, you will meet your date." Minho's slip says, "If you don't show courage today, you will lose her." Minho laughs and says, "I don't believe in these things." But Hua smiles and replies, "I do." And this one moment is about to change everything. Next scene. The festival officially begins, and suddenly, Hua makes an entry on stage. Mokjin is surprised. What is she doing on stage? In a flashback, we see the interviewer telling Hua that she is very impressed and wants Hua to open the festival. Hua is overjoyed. Minho also feels proud watching her. Hua confidently starts the festival and fills the atmosphere with energy. But then, a problem arises. The next performance gets delayed. An organizer tells Hua, "Keep the audience engaged for 30 minutes. Hua starts a quiz game, and everyone enjoys it. But even after the game ends, 10 minutes are still left, and the audience starts getting bored. Just then, Minho comes on stage and suddenly starts singing. He's not just passing time, he's saving Hua understands, just like always. He's standing by her side. Cut to, Minho is preparing his stall. Just then, Hua arrives wearing a gaming avatar costume. Minho laughs and says, "What are you dressed as? You look like a wizard." Hua replies, "You won't understand. It's a gaming avatar." At that moment, Mokjin also arrives and compliments Hua. Hua becomes happy again, but the next scene changes everything. One of Minho's friends shows him a girl, a famous girl from the dance department. That girl walks straight to Mokji in and calls him. Mokjin looks surprised to see her. Then everyone sits together to eat, and suddenly, that girl says, "I'm Mokjin's girlfriend." Mokjin confirms it. "Yes, she's my girlfriend." That's it. For Jua, this feels like a huge shock. Everything becomes clear in her eyes. Minho notices all of this. Then, when the girl leaves, Mokjin gives her flowers. This is the moment when Jua's heart completely breaks. She quietly walks away. Cut to, Jua is sitting alone, crying. Minho comes to her and says, "Pull yourself together. Everything will be okay." But Jua is already shattered. Minho tries to lighten the mood, talks about random things. Then Hua's hair falls on her face. Minho gives her a hair clip. Jua, surprised, asks, "When did you buy this?" Minho softly replies, "The day you liked it. I bought it that same day." For a moment, they just look at each other. And then, Minho kisses her. Jua immediately pushes him away. Minho asks, "Are you drunk?" Hua replies, "No." Minho says, "Then why did you push me away?" And this time, he kisses her again. But this time, Hua doesn't pull back. She accepts the moment. The next morning, Hua wakes up and is shocked, remembering everything from last night. Meanwhile, Minho is lying on his bed, thinking about that same moment. Next scene, Hua receives a message from Minho. "Are you awake?" Hua replies, "Yes." She calls him to meet. When they meet, Hua says, "Last night, I was very upset after seeing Mokjin's girlfriend, and we had been drinking, so whatever happened, it was a mistake." Minho immediately says, "It wasn't a mistake. I really like you." Jua, shocked, says, "What are you saying? Are you in your senses?" She continues, "I think you're confused. When you're clear, then come talk to me. For now, stay away from me for a few days." Saying this, she walks away. Minho just stands there. Cut to, Jua is in her room, looking at a vacancy for a sports announcer. Just then, Boyoung and Jimin come in. "What happened? You look very stressed." This time, Hua tells them everything about Mokjin, about her feelings. Hearing this, both of them get angry. Hua softly says, "Even the idea of becoming a sports announcer was Mokjin's, so now I'm quitting it." But they stop her. "No, you can't quit. You have talent. You have to do this." And right here, Hua finds herself standing at a crossroads.
Next scene, Hua is at her part-time job. A customer comes in and places an order. Hua works hard to prepare it and hands it over. But suddenly, the man denies it. "I didn't order this. You're giving me the wrong thing." And it doesn't stop there. He starts insulting Hua in front of everyone. Hua stands quietly, but the atmosphere fills with tension. Then, Minho, who is sitting nearby, doesn't say anything directly. He makes a call and subtly starts exposing the man, a move so smart that the customer realizes himself that he is wrong. Embarrassed, he walks away. Jua watches all this and smiles faintly, because Minho always stands by her. Even without saying a word, both of them head back to the hostel together. On the way, Minho sends Hua a video. Jua asks, "Did you record this?" Minho, in a calm voice, says, "It was your first broadcast. I knew you'd want to keep it safe." These small gestures touch Hua's heart, but she collects herself and says, "Look, I want us to be normal. Don't say things that make me uncomfortable." Minho asks directly, "Do my words really make you that uncomfortable? Don't you have any feelings for me?" Now Hua speaks the truth. "I do. A lot. But ever since you kissed me, I don't even understand what's happening to me." Her voice trembles with fear. "I can't control it. But I don't want to lose our friendship," she continues. "If everything goes wrong, you're the only one I can share everything with. I don't want to lose you." And with that, she leaves him standing there. The next morning, Hua receives a call from Minho's sister. She invites her to a cafe. They sit and talk, when suddenly, Minho shows up. Hua is surprised. "You said he wouldn't come." Minho is also surprised to see her. Now his sister smiles and says, "I know something is going on between you two, and you're not even talking to each other." Then she reminds them of an old promise. "My wedding is coming, and 5 years ago, you both promised that you'd dance together at my wedding." Minho immediately says, "We're not kids anymore." But his sister refuses to accept that. It's not just about the dance, it's a chance to bring them closer again. Meanwhile, Mokjin is with his dad. His father says sternly, "Finish your app work quickly, because you have to manage my company and take it forward." Mokjin wants to say something, maybe even tell the truth, but he remains silent. And now, friends, the story stands at 3 different paths. And now, during lunch break, Minho's message arrives. "Today, we'll practice dance during lunch." The moment Hua reads the message, a question rises in her heart. Should I make Minho my boyfriend? Or not? During lunch break, they face each other. The dance begins, and slowly the distance between them starts to vanish. With each step, their closeness grows, so much that even the beating of their hearts seems audible. Then a break, and here, Minho speaks from his heart. "Every time we fight, I'm the one who steps back. This time, what should I do? Leave you again?" Hearing this, Hua quietly walks away, but her steps move forward, while her heart stays behind. Alone, she plays the first broadcast Minho sent her, and then, she notices a code. The same pattern that the Dear M boy had used in his love confession. Jua's breath catches. Could that boy really be Minho? Scene changes. Hua arrives for her interview, nervous, scared. But the moment she starts speaking, everyone is impressed. Yet, rejection, reason, lack of experience. With a broken heart, she returns, where her friends are waiting for her. Boyang comforts her. "Don't give up. Next time you will definitely win." Meanwhile, Moonjun and Boyang are in a cold war, but after some teasing from friends, the truth comes out. They are dating. Moonjun apologizes, and the two come back together. Now the story takes another turn. Jua goes to meet Minho, but then, a call. Yang He. Jua smiles faintly and says, "Today's your date with him, right? All the best." And she walks away. But this time, her heart is truly broken. In her room, Hua is restless. Strange movements. Tangled thoughts. The thought of Minho and Yang He's date doesn't let her rest. Then, Yang He calls. They meet. Both had been rejected in the interview, and comfort each other. Then Yang He says, "You told me Minho likes yellow, so I wore yellow." Hearing this, something inside Hua breaks. Cut to restaurant. Yang He is talking, but Minho is lost in his pho. And meanwhile, Hua sits in her room, surrounded by his things, lost in memories. Then her eyes fall on Minho's jacket, and she remembers his words. "Yellow only looks good on you." Just that one line, and tears start flowing from Jua's eyes. Meanwhile, Minho and Yang He's date comes to an end. Yang He simply says, "Goodbye," and leaves. Jua stands outside, waiting for Minho. She wants to call him, but every time her fingers hesitate. Then, Minho appears in front of her. Jua immediately asks, "How was your date?" Minho smiles lightly and says, "At first she thought I was interesting, but after the date I became boring to her, and she rejected me." Hearing this, Hua laughs. But the next moment, everything changes. She looks straight into his eyes and says, I didn't like it at all that you went on a date with her. I tried to control my feelings, but I couldn't. And then, she finally speaks from her heart. A love confession. A second of silence. And the next moment, Minho hugs her tightly. Finally, the battle of hearts is over, and love wins. Scene changes. Hua now focuses on her career. She joins a free training academy, giving her dreams a fresh start. Then comes a beautiful moment. Minho's sister's wedding. Minho steps on stage and delivers an emotional speech, so sincere that everyone's eyes fill with tears. Afterwards, on the dance floor, Minho and Hua dance together, and their chemistry wins everyone's hearts. Then his sister joins in, and the moment becomes pure family plus love goals. But the story has one more twist. Mokjin's dad receives an article, which lists Minho as the owner of the app. Angrily, he asks, "What is this?" And then, the truth comes out. Mokjin says, "That app was never mine. The real owner is Minho." Hearing this, his dad is furious. But this time, Mokjin doesn't stay silent. He vents all his feelings, so much that even his dad is left speechless. Then a light-hearted moment returns. Jua and Minho are walking back together. Jua jokingly says, "You're not daring at all." And then, Minho kisses her right there on the road. After this, luck is on her side. The CEO of a major company calls her and offers her an amazing job. Minho's happiness can no longer be hidden. Then comes the final and biggest revelation. At a photo exhibition, everyone is looking at their pictures. Jua suddenly says, "I know. The dear M boy is you." Minho immediately denies it. "No, that's not me." Meanwhile, Moonjun and Boyang are looking at their photos. Moonjun puts his bag down to take out the camera, and then he notices an assignment in his bag, the same assignment that the Dear M boy had posted online. And now, the truth is revealed. Dear M was actually Moonjun. He was the one quietly writing everyone's hearts online. And with this big twist, this beautiful, emotional, and romantic drama comes to an end. Friends, if you enjoyed this drama, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The next day, Hua takes a big step. She goes to meet the interviewer, and there she gets a surprise. The interviewer tells her, "We want you to join the college broadcast system." Jua, a little nervous, asks, "Will I be able to do this?" The reply comes, "Of course you can." Hearing this, a new hope rises inside Hua. But at the same time, Minho keeps messaging her, and Hua doesn't reply. Now, Minho starts getting worried. Jua is checking the recruitment details when Minho suddenly shows up there. Jua, surprised, asks, "What are you doing here?" Minho directly asks, "Why aren't you replying to my messages?" Without answering, Hua gets up to leave, but Minho stops her. "Why are you doing this?" This time, Hua speaks the truth. "I don't want to ruin our 12-year friendship. I don't want you to regret later that you made this decision in a hurry." Hearing this, Minho goes silent. Scene changes. Jua is working at the restaurant when Mokjin walks in. Jua, surprised, asks, "What would you like to order?" Mokjin casually tries to talk. "I got 2 VIP tickets for a baseball match. Will you come with me?" Jua immediately refuses. "I don't have time." Mokjin says nothing, takes his coffee, and leaves. But this time, Hua doesn't stay silent. She follows him and bursts out, "How dare you play with my feelings? It must have been fun for you to fool me, but I'm not that girl anymore." The pain in her voice is clear. "From today, don't come in front of me. I don't even want to see you." Saying this, she walks away. Mokjin just stands there, speechless. Jua comes back and breaks down crying. From a distance, Minho is watching everything. Right there, Jua makes a decision. "I will become a sports announcer." She immediately applies for recruitment, and for the first time, feels happy for herself. But the journey isn't easy. She goes to an academy to prepare for the interview, where she's told about the fees. And the fees are very high. Jua is shocked. "I can't afford this." Her dream starts breaking again. Just then, Young Hee steps forward to help her. "I'll share all my material with you. But in return, you'll have to keep giving me updates about Minho. Jua agrees with a slight smile. Jua and Younghee start studying together. When suddenly Minho arrives there. Jua, surprised. What is he doing here? Minho smiles and says, Younghee told me you guys would be here. Now he deliberately starts distracting Hua, sometimes talking, sometimes joking. And Hua can't focus on studying at all. She gets up to take a book, but Minho keeps following her. Finally, Hua gets angry and says, Why are you following me? Until your mind is clear, stay away from me. Friends, this wasn't just anger, it was distance, one she was forcing herself to create. Next scene. Hua and Young go to an expensive makeup artist. But as soon as Hua finds out about the fees, her face falls completely. She steps outside and says clearly, I can't afford this, and quietly walks away. Jua sits in her room, sharing all her worries with Jimin and Boyang. I don't even have money to make a portfolio for the interview. But this time, she isn't alone. Jimin immediately does her makeup, and together, they start her photo shoot. Simple setup, but done with heart. And the result? Jua looks absolutely lovely in those pictures. From that moment, her confidence begins to return. Next scene, Hua is sitting outside at night, studying. Then Minho appears. He asks, a little surprised, Studying so late? Hua replies, Yes, I have to prepare for the interview. Minho doesn't say anything. He just watches her for a moment and walks away. But standing there, he thinks to himself, Hua is really working so hard. A little later, when Hua steps outside, she finds a bag with her name on it. Surprised, she opens it. Inside are her favorite macarons. She immediately understands who sent them. Back in her room, she places the bag on the table and slowly opens a drawer. Inside is the hair clip Minho gave her. The moment she sees it, that kissing moment flashes through her mind again. For a few seconds, she gets lost in the memory. Then, she suddenly stops herself. What am I thinking? No, this can't be. She puts the hair clip back in the drawer and closes it, as if she's locking her own heart too. Classroom. Minho is sitting there, and as Hua enters, he hopes she will sit next to him. He even moves his bag to make space for her. But Hua doesn't sit next to him. She goes to the row in front and takes a seat there. A faint look of disappointment appears in Minho's eyes. Next scene. Hua is in the sports club, searching for a book. As soon as she finds it, she starts to leave. But then, Mokjin arrives with his girlfriend. The atmosphere suddenly becomes awkward. They stop her to talk. Just then, a friend of Mokjin runs up. Your interview went viral. Hearing this, Mokjin panics. He's afraid that Hua might find out the truth. But when he checks the video, there's nothing inappropriate in it. He breathes a sigh of relief. Meanwhile, Hua, seeing all this, simply says, I have work to do, and walks away, without saying a word. But so much is running through her mind. Next scene, the story takes a new turn. Jua finds out. Her interview has been scheduled for the 16th. Now, time is short, and the pressure is high. She sits down with Younghee to prepare together. When Hua looks at Younghee's script, she is genuinely impressed. You've improved so much. Younghee smiles and says, Joining the academy helped a lot. I've come a long way. Just hearing this, Hua's face falls, because she knows she simply cannot afford this opportunity. Quietly, she begins to leave. Just then, she runs into Moonjun. He immediately notices, What's wrong? Why do you look so sad? Hua softly replies, The academy fees are too high. I can't afford it. Moonjun gives her a simple suggestion. Ask your parents for help. These words touch Hua's heart. She thinks to herself, Yes, maybe this is the right thing to do. And she decides to go home. Cut to, Hua arrives at her house. She sits in front of her mother, but inside, a battle is raging. Should she tell her or not? Just as she is about to speak, she realizes that her mother is already struggling with financial problems herself. And right there, Hua stops. She cannot gather the courage to share her troubles. Her mother casually asks, Did you just come here for a meal? Hua smiles and says, I can't get food like yours anywhere else, so I came. But her mother doesn't like this answer. She senses Hua is hiding something. Scene changes. Hua's mother calls Minho. I sent some macarons for you. Please take them from Hua. Minho replies, Okay. Then she adds, Hua came to see me today. She seemed a little upset. She didn't tell me anything. You find out what's going on. Minho immediately becomes serious. All right. I'll see. The call ends. Moonjun, standing nearby, asks, "Who were you talking to?" Minho says, "Chua's mom." Moonjun laughs. "Wow, you both call each other's mom, Mom. That's really special." Then suddenly he becomes serious and says, "By the way, Hua is going through some financial problems." Hearing this, Minho's expression changes instantly. Next scene. Hua returns to the hostel. There, she runs into Minho. Minho says lightly, "Your mom told me. She sent macarons for me." Hua quietly hands him the box. Minho tries to continue the conversation, but Hua pulls back. "I'm really tired. I have to go." Without saying another word, she leaves. Minho just watches her go. That night, Hua sits alone in her room, watching a video on her phone. Then, she comes across a video of Mokjin. She plays it. And in the next moment, the ground seems to slip from under her feet. In the video, Mokjin is claiming that he created an app. But the truth? That app belongs to Minho. Mokjin had lied to everyone. Jua is left in shock. Now she understands what kind of person she had been trusting. Next scene, all the friends are heading to college together. On the way, they spot a donation stall, selling friendship bands. Everyone starts picking bands, joking and laughing. Jua chooses a band, and Minho quietly picks one of the same color. A small gesture, but it speaks volumes. Then, a friend of Jamin arrives. The girls start complimenting his style and coat. Seeing this, the boys feel a little jealous. Then, everyone sits down for breakfast, and that same friend joins the girls at the table. A little jealousy becomes obvious in the atmosphere. Meanwhile, Minho receives a message on his phone. His new app has reached the finals of the competition. All the boys cheer in excitement, praising him for the achievement. Minho's eyes immediately go to Hua, but Hua ignores him. Seeing this, Minho's heart grows heavy again. Hua looks at him too, and thinks to herself, should I tell him the truth? That Mokjin is claiming his app as his own. But she stays silent. Scene changes. Boyang is sitting somewhere when Moonjun approaches her. "What are you doing here?" Boyang, excited, says, "Jua's broadcast is going on air today. I came to listen to her." Meanwhile, in the broadcast room, Jua sits in front of the microphone, and this time, her voice is full of confidence. She broadcasts with full intensity. Every word, every line, perfect, and everyone listening is impressed. It becomes clear, Hua is no longer just a lost girl caught in someone else's shadow.